This is hopeless. Good morning, Crossroads students. I hope you guys are doing really well this morning. This morning, I want to talk to you about something called love. And we are going through this verse all this week that goes like this. These three remain: faith, hope, and love. And the greatest of these is love. And so today, we are talking about love. And there's a verse in the Bible that I want to talk about, and that's John 13:34, which says this: love one another as I have loved you, that ye also love one another. And what he's saying is, Jesus is saying, I want you guys to love people like I love people. And so for that, we have to ask ourselves this question: how does Jesus love people? I don't know if you've ever had a friend in your life that just made bad decisions. If that's you, raise your hand. All right, now you're at home right now looking at your computer screen, raising your hand, which I can't see. And so I had this friend when I was in college, and he just was like the king of making bad decisions. And so one day my friends kind of said something about him. He just wasn't very good at what he was studying. And my friends were like, there is no way he's ever going to be able to pull that off. There's no way he's ever going to be able to be successful at what he's studying to be. And I was like, I don't know. I think you're underestimating him. And lo and behold, right now, he's actually doing what he was studying to do so well. And so I think sometimes we have friends that we just lose hope in. And we're just like, there's no way. Or maybe they're not your friend. Maybe there's someone in your life that you're just like, that guy, don't talk to him. Like, he's a bad guy. Like, leave him alone. But the question is that we have to ask ourselves is, if we're supposed to love like Jesus loves, we have to ask ourselves how Jesus loves. And there's a verse in Matthew that I think is just really, really incredible. And it's a situation where Jesus was walking along and he runs into this leper. And this leper says, Master, if you are willing, would you heal me? And Jesus, it says, puts his hand on this leper and says, I am willing. And the man was healed, and Jesus sent him to show himself to the priests. But you know what's crazy about this? This is a man that was so far beyond hope. This is a man that no one would go near. No one wanted to get even close to him because this guy was going to get his disease on other people and hurt them. This is a man that society had kicked out and had to stay in the leper colonies. This is a man that was so beyond hope. And I think sometimes in our lives we have friends like that, or we know people like that, where we're just like, they are so beyond making good decisions. They are so beyond hope. But you know what we're called to do? We are not called to judge whether or not someone is beyond hope. We are called to be there and to love. And Jesus did something for this guy. Jesus said, I'm willing. I'm willing to heal you. I'm willing to help you. And he put his hand on him, which is crazy because if Jesus put his hand on him, he could have gotten the disease himself. And yet Jesus said, you are worth healing. You are not beyond hope. And that's the kind of crazy love. If we're supposed to love people like Jesus loves people, that's what we're called to do. And so I know this isn't easy, but here's my challenge for you guys. I want you to ask yourselves, who have I written off because they're beyond hope? Who have I told myself in my heart, you are just so far beyond help. You are so far beyond hope. And I want you to love that person. I want you to go to that person. I want you to be a friend to that person and be loved to that person. Not in hopes that one day they'll turn their life around and change, because that would be awesome. But we're not called to love because they'll change. We're called to love because that's what we're called to do. And there's no end to that. There's no stopping loving someone because they don't change. And so your job is simply to go and to love. And whether or not they're beyond hope is not up to you, and it's not up to me. And so I want to challenge you to find someone in your life who you have written off as hopeless. And I want you to go, and I just want you to be love to them. And let Jesus do the rest, because he is willing to help, and he is willing to heal. So I'm challenging you this week, be love. See you guys.